Welcome, everyone. This is your boy, Shay G, radio personality, actor, Christian comedian, clean comedian. I am interviewing this young lady who I've been talking to for the last couple of minutes, and I'm just so impressed and just elated to be able to talk to her because, you know, all the information she's been telling me. She's a legend right now, and she's on the set of Insecure filming. And y'all make some noise for the one, the only Miss Kim Berry. Miss Kim Berry!
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I know you're busy right now. We're gonna get straight into it, everything. So how long exactly have you been working or did you work with Prince?
29 years. So
Mm.
I was blessed to travel all over the world with me. He hired me when I was 19 years old. And it was just a blessing to be able to, walk in the shoes of a couple other great hairstylists. There was a brother Earl who started with him when he first started. And Earl passed the baton to a young lady named Tanya. And Tanya, bless God, passed the baton down to me.
Okay, now, so we're gonna get into it. Like the people like us outside looking in, we will see Prince as somebody that's shy, don't like a lot of attentions when he's not performing. It's like he turns to this other guy. Who is the Prince that you knew?
Well, he had a lot of different personalities, so it depends on who you saw. Like when they say that he was a Gemini, so it was the good twin and the bad twin. Um, the bad twin, I called him Hollywood because that's the one who would fire you for stepping on a crack wrong, for speaking too loud in Paisley Park, But yeah, it just depends on what day you caught him on. And would depend on, he said, Kim, I got like 10 personalities, right? I said, yeah, I believe I met them all. I was able to stick and move. That's why I'm still here.
Right. And that is
Yeah.
a great thing. And you know, something that I want to ask you is like being with him for 29 years. I know people always ask you, what is that moment or whatever? I know it can be so many moments, but what is something that may stick out that will pretty much be surprising to a lot of us fans who just see him and like, is there a moment that you two shared or a group of you shared that sticks out about him and just like your relationship?
Well, all the stories, just because they were with, one of the greatest entertainers in the world, stick out. He was just a amazing, guy. He was funny. He laughed. He cried. Uh, you know, uh, he bagged on people's mamas. He'll whoop you in some ping pong and challenge you to some basketball with his 3-4 inch heels on. Um, he was just an all around dope dude. Uh, we had so many great experiences. Like we went horseback riding on the Colorado Divide, where the East Coast divides the West Coast, and he jump off the horse on one side, and yeah, look at me, I'm on the East Coast, and he jump off. I'm on the West Coast, and you better stop playing before you slide off this mountain. I was like, you know. And then we went camel riding, on the pyramids in the sands in Egypt. And when we walked through the pyramids, and all of us had a different type of spiritual experience, and we all felt something. We felt different, things that were there. And he kept asking me, "Do you hear that? It's like shutters opening and closing." And I said, "Nah, bro." I said, "That's the shutters. That's your soul speaking." I said, "I don't know what's going on with you," but yeah, it was just always something amazing just to be around him. The deep spiritual Bible studies, that he would just make you think time after time about what you didn't think about. How he wanted to be in the Black movement, and he was one of the first donors to give money to Black Lives Matter, and he
Yes.
wanted to know what could he do to be a part of changing the lives of the inner city youth around all of us that were working for him. And so he loved children. He loved everything about them, whether it be uh, coding or music or arts. He told me my daughter was an indigo child, and that she learned differently, and that how gifted that she was going to be. And I mean, everything he spoke about her is coming to pass right now. And it's he was so wise beyond his years. Like the man, like he wrote the album Coming to America, Welcome to America, I'm sorry, that's about to drop now, was actually wrote 10 or 11 years ago, but it's actually serving what's happening in the times right to this moment. The man was so dope. It was just amazing to be around him, to see how his brain worked and how he was constantly thinking and evolving at all times. He knew that he was a vessel that was downloaded by God to bring the music to the world, that he knew that he was here to bring love and light to the world. And he told me that he knew that the music was always being downloaded into him, and as quick as he got it, he had to give it back out and give it to the world. The record companies couldn't understand that, but he knew that this was a vision given to him by God that had to be given to the people at all times. And he knew that, he said that once the music stopped, that he would cease to exist. And that's exactly what happened.
Man, that is amazing. I just have 3 more questions for you, okay?
Sure.
The first one is, like, when the passing, I know because I was on the radio and I had to go do my show. What can you describe to us the feeling? Because me being a fan, but also being in Minneapolis, when we all heard, it was like a feeling. And I remember exactly where I was and everything when it happened. I don't know if you'll be willing to just let us know your thoughts and everything once you found out everything.
I was devastated. There was a young hairstylist. His name is John. He lives in Colorado. So he called me, and their time zone is ahead of ours. So he called me, said, Kim, what are you doing? I said, I'm driving down the street. He said, I need you to pull over. I said, pull over for what? He said, Kim, pull your car over. So I pulled the car over. He says, have you looked at TMZ? I said, TMZ for what? That's a gossip magazine. I don't need to look at that. He said, Kim, pull up TMZ. So I see fatality at Paisley Park. So of course I think, oh, that's somebody that was in the building. That couldn't be him. And as I'm talking to him, one of my other boys called in from CBS, who's the head cameraman. And he said, Kim, we're going live in 5 minutes. I need you to know. I said, you need me to know what? And he said, the coroner's van just pulled off from Paisley Park and Prince is in the back. And I said, what? And I just started screaming and hollering. And my phone was blowing up and people were texting me. All the celebrity hairstylists from all over the world were like, Kim, is it true? Kim, is it true? I was like, okay, y'all let me get 5 minutes with it. Okay, like, wait a minute. Like, my phone was beeping so fast. I mean, it's so hard. It literally blacked out. It was just, it was crazy. One of my best friends, I just remember her saying, where are you? Where are you? Let me come get you. And I was like, I don't even know where I was. I was stuck for like about 4.5 hours and just in straight blackness, total chaos. And every time I tried to get myself together, because that was my brother, and I had, just recently had conversation with him, and he knew, he had the peace of God on his life, but he was so calm, but he knew. And that's what gave me peace, but it still didn't stop the pain from being so real. It was an eerie feeling, but I still, to this day, I have a peace about it because I know that he had made his peace with God and he was ready to go home. And that's what gives me peace to this day. And by the time I got on the plane and got to Minnesota, he had already been cremated. And that was devastating, even more devastating to me, because they didn't give us a chance, the ones who actually walked alongside of him, to say goodbye. And I think that's what hurt me more than anything else.
Yeah, and I get it. I understand. Yeah, and just to let you know too, it's like I don't know if you know Walter Q. Banks. I worked closely with him during the situation, and that was the first time I ever seen him break down, because it's a different experience being a fan, to talking to people like you, Miss Berry, and to know the people that he really touched, because he touched us with music. But to be able to hear this story, we really appreciate you just sharing that. And then the last question I have for you is, like, when I hear his music now, you know what I mean? It hits different, and I have my own favorite playlist. Do you have a top 3, top 4 song list that you have from your dear friend Prince?
Let me see. Top three. Oh, that's hard again too. Let me see. One song in particular, Get Freaky, Let Your Head Bob. We were in
Yeah.
the studio. We were in the salon doing his hair, and he said,
Mhm.
Kim, I need somebody on my background vocals. And
Right.
I said, what? And now he's like, I need somebody on my background vocals. I said, how am I gonna be able to do that? He
Mhm.
said, it don't matter. I said, I can't sing. He said, don't matter. I can make you sound like whatever I need you to sound like. So we literally ran downstairs into the studio, because what they call Paisley Park is the creative battleship. So
Mhm.
he could make music. He had kitchens, he had showers, he had whatever. He could go in Paisley Park and never come out really.
Right.
And so it was just Get Freaky, Let Your Head Bob. I'm on the track, and a lot of people don't know it. I'm like, Get Freaky, Let Your Head Bob. That's one of my favorite songs because I'm on it. That's one of my favorites. And so
Right.
yeah, that one. International Lover. What else? Oh my goodness. What's a slow jam? Of course, Adore.
Doors.
Um,
Right.
yes, of course. But yeah, I just love. I tried to make him sing every dirty song he had, but he was like, Kim, I can't sing that anymore. Kim, I can't sing that anymore. I was like, well, quit asking me. He'd be under the stage like, what you want me to sing next? Like on one of his
Right.
50 encores that he would do. And I'd be like,
Right.
sing sexy. He'd be like, sing
Right.
International Love. I can't sing that, Kim. I was like, oh, brother. I said, well, stop asking me because I want all the dirty stuff. I like it when you
Right.
curse.
But Kim, we really appreciate you. And before we get out of here, what would you like to tell Prince's fans? What would you want to tell them? And just the impact and of what something we may not know about Prince, that you personally know in a personal connection that you have with him.
Um, like I said, my main thing was just to let the people know that he was at peace in his final days. Um, he knew who he was. He knew that he had did everything that God had sent him here to do. That if they don't find solace in anything else, then just to know that he had did the damn thing. He said, when he get to the gates of heaven, he gonna tell God that he left it all on the stage. Everything that you gave me, I left it there on the stage for the people. He didn't care if it was 10 people in the crowd or
Mhm.
10,000 people in the crowd. He gave it to him, and he said, nobody rocked out like me, Kim. I said, nobody. And it's once in a great while. You see that shooting star across the sky? That's who Prince was. He was the soundtrack to our lives. And he was the dopest individual in the world. He was funny. He was charismatic. He was moody. He was, a butthole at some times. But guess what? He still loved people. And
Mhm.
he still took care of us and everybody who was closest to him. And he loved on us and in the ways that he knew how to love on us. You know what I mean? And I just thank God for being a part of his journey. And I just want people to know that he's one of the realest dudes that you ever could have met. And I just thank God for my journey. I wouldn't trade nothing for it.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much, Miss Kim. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. You have gained a new fan by me, and
Thank
I just
you.
really appreciate you, man. It's people like you that make an impact in everyone's life also, and you may not realize that. So these words was great words, and I just wish you nothing but the best. And thank you so much for taking the time out
And
filming.
man, also one more thing, just tell people to look for my book, Diamonds and Curls, on my website, diamondsandcurls.com. So
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Cuba, you got to clap for that, man. Come on,
Oh,
man.
ain't no question. Ain't no question.
Right. So that is great, y'all. And just to let you know, this is what's coming up in the next few days because we're leading up to the premiere. So get your tickets as the film is only showing for a limited time of 4 days. And there's going to be more to come tomorrow night. Are you going to be here in Q Bear?
Oh, ain't no question. I'm like that blind guy that can see everything. I'm there.
You talking about Stevie Wonder.
Oh.
We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. We see y'all tomorrow.